them why it's going to be such a different episode?
Well, you all probably know. Dylan, sorry guys.
We're going to have some animals.
This is a very home show. We'll have animals. We'll have everything. But this, I just got home from storms, and that's the title of the show tonight, right?
And to start out, we do invite you all to have a drink with us because we're going to be casually drinking here at the beginning, and we're going to play a mini game for those viewers in the audience this evening to see what bourbon we're going to be drinking next.
That's right. So
this is a celebratory episode because, continue on to what you were saying.
We've had a long week. Both of us are linemen, right? And you were out of state for storms.
I was out of state. I was in Virginia and West Virginia for the most part on this one.
Yeah. So
not too far, but still out of state.
And you just got back into Kentucky today.
Yeah, today.
All right. So I don't know what it was like for you, but we'll talk about that because it's a storms episode. We're going to drink some things, but my week was very hectic, and we'll talk about that too. But what went on is, of course, I didn't have any time to prepare for the show. So as the Bourbon Basement always likes to be here to be your drinking buddy, I'm asking you all to be my drinking buddy tonight, because the only thing I wanted to do when I got home was kiss my wife, come downstairs, and have a bourbon, because I hadn't had one all week. I mean, it's been a long time. So what was going on? So storms come across central Kentucky area this week.
It hit quite a few states.
It hit a lot of states, and when you get 80 miles an hour winds.
Stephen Corson, appreciate you from Central Maine. Thanks for tuning in.
I don't know if you got any storms in the Maine area, but if you all are tuning in and you got several thunderstorms and stuff that come through and took your lights out, let us know. Let us know where you're from and how long you suffered.
And of course, Jimbo and Mari, appreciate you all tuning in.
Jim boy, Margaret. Anyway, what we got today, so we worked storms, and when I say we worked storms, we worked 16 plus hours a day.
Storm restoration work for broken poles, down wire, getting people's power back on.
You get about 6 hours rest. Now, I got to rest in my own bed because I worked in my local area. You were in a hotel.
We're hoteling it up, either that or in the trucks.
Sometimes that's good or sometimes that's bad, right?
Anything but a red roof, I'm okay with.
You'd rather stay in your truck.
Yeah. If they book us a red roof in, I'm sleeping in the truck.
You hear a lot of lineman stories where they sleep in the truck because of some of the tent cities that they build on some of these hurricanes or something like that, and a lot of snoring going on, and they just sleep out in the truck. So this is just going to be one of those episodes. I want to have a drink with you guys. We can talk. You all can talk to us. We're going to talk to each other. But that's what this show's all about.
We didn't want to go a week without being live because we were both going to be back in town and available, but we didn't have time to plan anything specific. So
I literally got home at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
jumped in the shower. Had time to pour a drink and sit here and do a little pre-gaming, and then get ready for the show. And Ryan's like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "I don't know what we're doing." He said, "What do you want to title it?" I said, "Title it Storms." And then when we figure out what we're going to drink, we'll title it that later. So,
Peter, appreciate you tuning in, sir.
Hi, Peter. Glad to see you. Do you have any storms in your area?
Where is Peter from? Oh, no. You can't be on the show.
Peter's from Canada, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Peter's from Canada.
Canada.
Yeah. I don't know if they were that far north.
The storms? Probably all just, it seemed like to me they all just focused on central Kentucky.
Literally central Kentucky. It was Kentucky, Illinois,
Indiana,
Virginia, West Virginia, and Indiana got hit really hard.
Yeah.
Indiana, I think there's still like 200,000 people out because of the flooding. They can't get to anything.
Yeah.
So we were lucky enough not to have any flooding around here. It was all...
There was no flooding in West Virginia, but if you think of West Virginia, it's mountainsides. So everything runs downhill.
It was all lightning, wind, trees down. That's what killed all of us. So, so we went to work Tuesday morning, guys, and didn't get home Tuesday night, and worked Wednesday. Then finally got home Wednesday night about 11:30 or 12, I guess.
No storms right now. Got a breeze and a temperature of 69. That's about perfect.
That is
Ooh,
nice.
we're like near 90.
And
it's humid here in Kentucky.
You would think when the storms come through, when it's actually storming, and everybody's hunkered down in their basement. Literally this time, we had tornado warnings and everything in
Yeah.
our area. And
Pikeville got hit pretty hard.
everybody was hunkered down in their basement, and we're out there trying to cut trees off the line, to get lights back on, just so they could probably go out again a little bit later. But the
Tornadoes touching down about 100 yards from it. You got that tree cut yet?
it's not like that, but we are out there in it. And you would think that first night when the storm's going on and all the rain's hitting you and you're drenched and you're soaking wet was the worst night. And
It only gets worse from there.
it's really not the worst night. The first night is kind of hectic and overwhelming, and then you kind of calm yourself down and just say one call at a time,
See, good news for me, working for a contractor, we usually get called in either before a storm and then wait it out until it hits and then go to work, or after a storm's already hit and then just go repair everything. See, we don't have to usually work in it.
Well, we was in it, and then when it finally quit, so what I was saying is you're soaking wet, you're working hard, but when it's actually storming, I mean, there's wind, there's cooler stuff. These last couple of days, the heat index went up, and I mean, you walk outside and instantly start sweating, and now you're up in these trees and you're trying to cut trees. And I mean, we have professional tree crews as well, but most of the time your line crew is like, I think I can get this off without having a tree crew, and you got to do a lot of work just to have a
If
tree
you're waiting
crew.
for a tree crew, you're going to be waiting for a while.
Because they're busy.
They're busy.
And I do appreciate our tree crews as well.
Traffic crews too, because I know a AWP, I think, was the one doing the traffic directing over in Virginia, West Virginia,
Yeah.
and they were slammed. I don't think they brought near enough crews for what was going on.
Yeah. The
Is that
one thing
what's
I can
caused
say
all
about
the
our
lights out?
Huh?
Is that because the stoplights being out?
Well, they were no, that was police that was taking care of that.
Okay.
But
Alright.
as far as directing traffic, there were a lot of poles that we had
Oh.
that were not only up a mountainside, but on a mountainside on the road, where you had to set your truck up on the road and boom up to the side of this mountain that they had their poles set on, so you still had to block the road off.
Let's pause a minute from storms and let's talk a little bourbon. So today, guys,
Are you going to start the mini game?
Well, I'm going to tell them what we're pre-gaming with, and I'm going to ask them a question. So we're pre-gaming with Rebel, and if you've watched any of our shows,
We've done this.
well, we've done a Rebel episode, and we've talked about how Rebel, I'm not the biggest fan of Rebel. I
Every
don't
time
know
that he
why.
pairs it against anything, and I hate pairing bourbon against bourbon, but it's always come in last.
It's come in one of the last, but this is Rebel. It's just Kentucky Straight, but it's a single barrel selected by Kyle Busch. It's got his number 8 and his signature on there. It's a pretty cool looking Rebel bottle, I think.
It's a different Rebel bottle.
That's what we're pre-gaming with today. Put in the comments there what you guys are pre-gaming with, because we want to know, because this is the Bourbon Buddy Talking Basement Show. The Bourbon Buddy Talking Basement Show.
I wouldn't touch that light too much.
It's all right. Our producer is adjusting the lights.
It's glaring in the mirror.
Okay.
Well, now it's.
Oh yeah, if you all haven't noticed, there are mirrors behind us now. You probably can't tell on camera, but there's been a little bit of change to the aesthetics of the Bourbon Basement here. It looks a lot better in person.
So as we've said 100 million times on this episode, we drink our bourbon.
Oh yes.
But I do like it sitting on the shelf and looking pretty.
At least for a little bit.
You need it right there. That's
I
where
can't-
you're.
I'm not going to
Oh!
lean in. Uh-oh, guys.
What is going on here?
Sorry! Oh my God.
The
What did
Bourbon
you
Basement
do?
technical difficulties.
Gosh! Alright,
Is it going to stop?
No.
alright, hold on just a
All
second.
right, guys, we're going to stay live.
So what
while
happened
the
to cause this?
technical difficulties get fixed? You'll probably see a lot of funny camera angles and
I
actions.
hit that by accident.
Why did you hit that? You can't hit that.
Yeah.
You don't have to block it with your hand. Let them enjoy the experience of the.
Well, producer's a little footsie over here,
Sorry.
and you can't do certain things with our current camera setup because it really...
Whoa!
Alright, you might have broken this thing.
How
Sorry.
could she have done that just by hitting the cord?
Because she pulled the phone opposite direction
Okay,
of what
well,
it
just
needed
hand
to
it
be,
here.
and it screwed it.
You can't hold that this whole show. Well, this is
Okay, so
Yeah, I think she's broken our.
Take your phone out of it for a minute. Let her hold it.
Peter said, was that an earthquake?
Peter,
I think producer
we've
has
had some
broken.
crazy storms around here, but we haven't had an earthquake yet.
Okay.
But anyway, we were going to have, we're testing that tech that you just saw go haywire because September, the 11th through the 13th.
Jim Boy said I'm gonna vomit.
Don't do that, Gene Boy. You got a bourbon in your hand. September 11th through the 13th, we're going to the Bardstown Bourbon Festival. All right. Here you go. Our tech guy's working on the equipment over there. I'm going to talk about something, I guess. But we're going to the Bardstown Bourbon Festival.
Peter is drinking Evan Williams.
Awesome.
If
Which,
you're drinking, be sure to keep it down through all that nonsense.
just your Evan Williams small batch.
He's doing Evan Williams barreled and bond,
Nice.
and Jim Boy and Em are doing Blanton's.
All right. Oh, Blanton's. Always a good choice. Everybody loves Blanton's. First original single barrel, right? Anyway, so we talked about what we were doing our Rebel, but Ryan had mentioned a game, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Oh. Our tech guy is getting frustrated to the side of the show here. So it's not working? Our producer can't hold this the whole time.
She was the one giving me the snarled look saying to leave it.
Mike, okay. All right. We're back on our show. Our cork guessing show is now over because you can see all our
You can see everything.
You can see our special bottles here.
Sorry,
So
I
that's
didn't
all
know he
right,
was doing
producer. So what we were going to do, guys, is of course on when our other setup, it just had the top of the bottles, and we was going to make you all guess the bottle.
If you could guess the bottle top,
So, but now, and we knew that some of them was a dead giveaway.
I think this one was a dead giveaway. I said that this one, if you had really good eyesight, it would have been a dead giveaway because it definitely says Evan Williams Bourbon Experience on the top of the label.
Well, but what I wanted to do is I called Ryan. He called me on his way home, and I was like, oh man, I think I'm going to make it home tonight too. I think we're going to be able to do the show. I said, how about we do a special bottle? And so we didn't know what special bottle to pick. So I'm going to let you guys decide what bottle we're going to do.
And we think all of these, from the stock that we have in the Bourbon Basement, other than being like super, super special bottles that we want to do a specific show on, we
Yes.
think that these are pretty special bottles.
And these would have been a good show.
Every one of them,
I think
yes.
all these would have been a
This
good
one
show.
would have been a great show on its own. This one, I think, would have been a great show on its own.
So now
This
we're
one.
going to talk about the bottles that you have to choose from. And then everybody can just put in the comments, hey, do that one, hey, do this one, or just put the name of the bourbon. It doesn't matter.
And I guess we're going to do majority rule.
Majority rule. And we'll just try that. That'll be,
See, I think there's a way that I can run a poll on here, but I don't really know how to.
well, it doesn't matter.
Engage
So,
with your audience. Hold on. Oh, start a poll.
All
But
right.
I'm not going to enter all these bourbons in the poll.
no, you
So,
stay along. You should have
What
done
I'm
that
going to
pre-
do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you all can vote which one you want. And majority rule.
All right, or you can
So
comment.
give me just a second to set that up.
You might need to go this way. Number one might need to be heart-filled because that's the way they're looking at it.
Well, it's going to be backwards. He's
Oh,
gonna go-
okay.
yeah, he'll go there.
1 is going to be Evan Williams. 6 is going to be Hartfield.
Okay.
Just putting that in there.
All right. If we only get one vote, then we only get one vote.
I've never done this before, guys, so this is going to be a new experience for all of us. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, okay.
So just tell y'all a little bit about the bottles that we picked and why they may be special. So Evan Williams 12 year. Of course, you're not going to get history tonight with the Bourbon Basement. You're going to get tasting and a review though, because you're used to history and a tasting and review. Tonight you're just going to get a tasting and review and some more stories of some storms that we've been through probably. But this is the Evan Williams 12 years. And as far as I know, this is only available overseas and at Heaven Hill Distillery. So Heaven Hill makes Evan Williams. That's the only place it's available. It's 12 years, 101 proof. It is a special bourbon. When we toured the distillery, I had this in the cafeteria. I had a shot of it, and I loved it immediately and talked about how good it was. So that's Evan Williams 12 years, and it would make an excellent show on its own.
Let's see. Old Forester with one R. Thanks for calling me out on that one.
Did you misspell it again?
No.
Okay.
He was calling me out on the other.
From
so
the last episode.
we got one vote for Old Forester with one R, and then one vote for the Edmund Williams 12. He said it's really hard to come by, so that would be his choice. And that was from Peter and Gene Boy.
That's awesome ones. So you got Russell's Reserve, the 13-year. This is a barrel-proof bourbon, and of course, the Russell's 13-year is special because they are also an allocated bottle. Of course, there is a Russell's 15, but I haven't had a Russell's 13 yet. I did try the 15 at a bar. I had a shot of it. I'm not used to this couch very much. Then you got the Hirsch.
All right, so the poll's not going to work. It only lets me add 4 options. So we'll try that again at another later date.
Different polls. You got to do the comments. All right, so this is a Hirsch. It's a store pick. It's a single barrel. I don't see much of these sitting on the shelf, so this was an auction find. You see some of the other ones. They're not all Kentucky bourbons, but this one being a single barrel, I guess it's easy to be a Kentucky bourbon being a single barrel. Picked that up. I did get that at an auction. Thought it was a good deal, so that's why I bought that. Old Forester.
With one R.
1R, single barrel strength. They make the single barrel with the black label too. I think it's 100 proof. This single barrel strength. I love Old Forester. I haven't had the single barrel strength yet. So this bottle's been on the shelf.
That's a special one.
This bottle's been on the shelf. These have both been on the shelf for a while. Of course, I got these 2 bottles at auctions, and that's why those are special. You want to talk about the other 2 bottles?
Well, you didn't explain this to me. Are we doing an actual tasting and review of
Yes.
like here, or are we just gonna?
Nope, tasting and review.
First impressions.
So we was gonna do a show. We were just gonna talk bourbon. We're gonna talk storms. We're just gonna talk sips.
My
and
vote
rebel.
is for Hirsch.
All right, we got to vote for Hirsch.
So
Just
we've
because
got
it hasn't
different-
been, just
three
because it
different
hasn't
ones
been
right now.
tried.
We need a tiebreaker or something. I don't know.
Well, the show must go on. We're gonna do a little bit of talking, right?
I'm surrounded by animals.
Yeah. So if y'all didn't, this is Dylan. He's a little miniature
Poodle.
chocolate poodle, I guess.
Miniature poodle, and then we
And,
got a miniature Yorkie over here.
He's the biggest dork dog I've ever seen. He's very smart
The
and
smartest
dumb
dumb
at the
dog.
same time.
Smartest dumb dog I've ever seen in my life.
But we love him, and he makes me laugh, so that's what's good. This is he's still a pup. How's Dylan?
He'll,
2.5.
he'll be
Couple
3
years, 3 years old. He'll be 3 sometime soon.
in.
I don't know. That's Maddie.
This
September.
is our old lady.
Oh, she turned, or he this month or September.
That's
Next
Maddie.
Yeah.
She's a teacup Yorkie. She's over 15 years old.
Still going
and,
strong.
she don't have no teeth. She can't hardly see. She can't hardly
But I'm
hear.
gonna tell you what, she keeps that one there laying down in check.
She can't hardly hear, and her little tongue sticks out all the time. But her's the sweetest little lovey baby you've ever met. Her little good girl. So we may have some more pets to steal the show, but
Peter said those Old Forester barrel proofs can be lava hot. His is 134 proof, floor 8.
floor 8, 134. Warehouse H, floor 2, 126.9.
You got a stiff one, Peter.
So I got a baby compared to you. But
134, that ties the highest proof that we've had in the Bourbon Basement, I believe.
134.
Or no,
We have
136.
not had a hazmat yet, so I mean.
We had a
anything-
136, and I think that was Okie.
Anything 140 and above, they kind of consider hazmat. So
I think Okie was 136, and I think our barrel proof Blanton's back here is 134 point something.
all right, another option. I got this one last year. It's the Old Fitz bottled in bond. It's the 11-year. I've never had an Old Fitz. You know, the fancy, pretty bottle. I've never had it.
It's like a decanter.
You know, Old Fitz is what Pappy used to make. This ain't that same stuff anymore. That's the 25 on this. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey from Hartfield and Company, Family Reserve. Pretty awesome bottle. This is batch 2. The one we did was a batch 1. It was a lot higher proof. This is 126.4 proof. It is single
Which is
barrel.
still high
It is single barrel. So we have done an episode on this
on
one.
that one.
But I got this bottle because I wanted another bottle, and I had to buy another bottle in order to get it. So this was the bottle I chose to buy that day because I don't have any of these. My brother, who's tuned in tonight, Gene Boy there, he had the original batch one, and he brought it, shared it with us on the show, and we did a tasting and review of it. So these are the bottles that you have to choose from tonight. Whatever gets the most votes, we're going to do a tasting and review at the end of the show.
And we've got 3 different votes so far for 3 different bourbons.
And that's all right.
So
And we could be the tiebreaker if we have to be.
if we don't hear anything in the next probably 3 minutes, I say we be the tiebreaker. But we do appreciate the input.
The 3 minutes, I mean, it's only 6:20. We got about 10 more minutes.
Okay, so you got 10 minutes. All right, so Goose Master, vote for O Fitz.
All right, there's another one.
So 4 different votes, 4 different bourbons. Y'all ain't helping us none.
I think Goose Master, I think he's had some Old Fitz before, in those big decanter bottles, and I think he liked it pretty
See,
well.
I don't believe that I've had Old Fitz personally.
I've never had them out of that bottle. They make the bottom shelf Old Fitz.
The smaller batch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I might have had that.
Yeah. So anyway.
Vappy Wim Pinkle votes for 5, so he voted for Old Fitz as well.
2 votes for Old Fitz.
You are aware that we started with 1 through 6, right? Just making that clear. Evan Williams was 1 and 6 was Hartfield. I thought I made that fairly clear before, but so we got 2 for Old Fitz.
Let me get
as
Rebel.
of now. 1 for Evan Williams, 1 for the Old Forester Bell Proof. I think that's it.
But we've been working hard, and I wanted to celebrate with a good bottle. So there's 6 good choices. We're going to get to celebrate with a good bottle tonight.
If you all aren't already celebrating, then you're doing something wrong.
I celebrated it. I got here at 5, took a shower, and celebrated ever since. But now back to some storm talk. So I don't know, when most of the big work's done, that's when you get released, right? Your contractor.
Not always true.
Okay, because what I think is the most tedious part of any storm is when 99% of the lights are on, and you're down to a bunch of onesies and twosies.
See, I think that's where we honestly kind of get like bad named, because the union guys, they're the first ones. That's all they do is storm chase. So they're the first ones to show up on site. But then when we go, they're like, yeah, we'll take you. But they get the big jobs. They're getting the bulk of the people back on. They're getting the circuits back on. They're replacing the 3-phase poles. And then we show up and they're like, oh yeah, let's send you up this mountainside. Did you bring a track machine? No. All right. Well, they're all climbers. Yeah. They got 5 broken poles to feed 1 tap line on a cabin up on the side of a hill.
Yeah. That's kind of one customer, and you work all day to get it back on.
That's kind of the work that we end up getting. We don't get none of the bulk stuff.
Yeah, but that's what the storms are. So if you all have ever had your lights out during a storm or any time, if there's a big event,
you'll get that on them big storms. That come from Gene Boy.
Yeah, you will. Another lineman, by the way.
Another retired lineman.
But you'll take, and we always try to take and get the most customers on. Because it just
vote first and then do your little.
Yeah, if you have 20,000 people out, you're going to try to get as many people on as fast as you can. So then it gets down to some people that may just have a service out, or it may just have a transformer open. And you
could be anything.
You guys are very lucky. Just say this was a 4-day storm. So just say if you get on the second day, if you have somebody come and fuse your transformer, you're pretty lucky because you was a onesie.
And those are usually coming on the last
somebody
day.
Just got to you, you got lucky and got through. Most of the time, those things come at the end. And today was one of those days where last night, I thought we had, good save.
I caught her, guys, I caught her.
She can't see well, she didn't see that big. Watch that first step, Maddie, it's a doozy. Anyway, so last night I thought we were 99% done. We had some broken poles left to get the one customer back on this morning. So I knew that was coming. But then I thought the day was going to be finished up. I thought I'd get off on time. And
you weren't too late.
I wasn't too late. But
about an hour and a half later.
But what happened was, then we started getting all these calls. And a lot of them aren't even outage calls. They're tree on wire calls, tree on line calls. And some of this is you run on it and it's trees on the telephone. Some of these you have a legitimate wire down with. We found primary down, 2 spans of primary that fed like a barn or something, and the farmer just called it in.
How many telephone calls do y'all get?
Tons.
Telephone lines down. Sorry, we can't help you with that.
Tons. It's communication lines, and I understand because customers don't know the difference.
And it's good to be cautious.
It's very good to report the line down, and then you know it's a telephone line and not a power line.
If you see an overhead line down, don't be afraid to report it.
You don't want to
have someone come out there and look at it. Hey, guess what? This line's safe. You're good. They'll be out here to repair it as soon as they can.
But let me tell you what gets my goat the most.
Now here we go.
This is the 4th day of the storm. Like I said, we never went home the first day, and then you come in the next night and you work 16 plus hours, you get about 6 rest. And then the next night, 16 hours, about 6 rest. And then you come back on the final day of the storm. You know it's going to be cleaned up today. And you're running all these little calls, and I've got my crew all split up. All of you guys, all my contractors are gone. You don't have that extra help anymore.
I saw that you all. So who goes out the bypass? Underbuild on that transmission, or not the bypass, but the 68.
That's us.
Well, you actually had 5-star crews working for you. I saw on the way in.
Well, we have my area, which serves several different areas, from Richmond, Winchester, and then
All the
Maysville,
surroundings,
Mount Sterling,
yeah.
and Paris. That's all one big area under the same boss man, I guess. It's his area. Well, there is what they call resident contractors, which is basically they work side by side with us, do the same thing. They just work for a different company.
Right.
So their resident contractors were here yesterday and finished up a little bit of the one calls that I knew we had.
Yeah.
Like the one pole to something. Got a comment?
Watched the news shows on Columbia earthquake, and those power lines were bouncing and whipping around. Yeah, that's.
Oh man, that was devastating.
That's bad.
That was devastating. A lot of people lost their lives on that.
It was bad.
I'm glad we just have the thunderstorms and stuff mostly around here, or tornadoes.
We
But today,
don't get a lot of earthquakes around here.
today, what got my goat, and it seems like this happens to my area every storm. All right, so we're cleaning up storm stuff, and I'm like talking to my boss, and I'm like, "Hey, boss man, my crew has not had a meal together this whole time. We've been split up. We've been onesies and twosies. Everybody's been buying their own stuff. I want to take my crew to a restaurant at lunchtime
And eat.
together. I want to do that together, kind of celebrate the end of the storm, kind of just be together, because we weren't. And
I miss them.
and
I
he
miss
said,
my crew.
he said, it looks like things are getting caught up. He said, if we get anything, you all just run them after lunch. And I was like, yep, we'll all split up and go after lunch and do it, right? So we had this planned, and then one of the guys who is first to receive the calls, and my brother was one of those. He was a troubleshooter. We, in my area, we don't have a dedicated troubleshooter. We have a service man. He runs the trouble calls. But I called him. We were going to lunch, and he said, all right, I've got one call on my screen. I'm going to catch it, and then I'll meet you all there. So everybody's loading up to go to lunch, and he gets there, and he calls me, and he says, hey, Steve,
I need a crew.
we gotta dig in over here. Somebody's dug in and hit the underground.
Mm.
And I thought he was joking, and he wasn't. So
All this storm
so
work,
now-
like repair work, and then
somebody digs.
someone that was doing just regular routine work on their daily job,
And
digs into the primary.
it hits me so wrong, and I'm so grumpy at that point.
Just remember those sailors on the USS Lincoln have been out there for 250 days. That's also true.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Shoo, man. But I was so grumpy at that point because I was already in lunch mode. I was in lunch mode, and
Well, good luck splicing that back together. We're going to go to lunch. We'll catch up with you after if you're not finished up.
no, we went and We did. Hey, but you know what? We got to come together as a crew
And work on one job.
work that job out. All right. So, are we about ready to?
Our most votes so far is Old Fitz.
Let's do Old
We
Fitz.
got 2 for Old Fitz, 1 for Old Forester, 1 for Evan Williams.
Let's do Old Fitz. This proves here with the bottles that we have here to select. It proves if you all did not believe that we drank our bourbon, this should prove that we drank our bourbon. We've drank Pappy's on here. We've drank good bottles. Michter's 10. We're not holding on to these bottles that everybody wants to try to resell. We're trying to get them for a good price so we can drink them because we can't afford the secondary prices on these things. And lucky enough, I've been able to get many bottles. I think you can see several of the good bottles I got behind us if you can make out any of the labels.
As
If
y'all
you-
can see, maybe not, but you should be able to see, this is a fully sealed Old Fitz 11, fresh off the shelf.
Make sure you moisten that cork because it's been sitting.
Please don't use that word at all.
You don't like moist?
No.
Is that good enough?
But
How do
anyway.
you open it? Because you don't
I
like
don't know how to
the
open it.
labels to be all.
Well, I like the pretty bottle.
We just now opened that Rebel early before the show, and he was like, "Why don't you use a knife so it doesn't rip apart and be all uneven around the edge of it?" Aye.
Aye. All right, I got it.
That looks awful.
It's my bottle. It can.
I could have opened
It's
it better than
my. Well,
that.
you didn't give me the knife. I laid the
Oh
knife
my
there for you.
gosh. Hold on, here we go, boys. Oh, it's ooh.
Whoa!
That's a big cork.
That may
guys.
be the best cork pop on the bourbon basement
That
right
is a
now.
big cork. All glass.
Let me finish the last of that Rebel because I didn't want to.
Vappy, let's keep it PG in the chat, please. I don't
What
like.
do you say? Can you not repeat it?
Moisten the cork, Ryan. Listen to your dad. Y'all gotta chill out. That's an awful word, and I hate using it.
I don't get it. I mean,
Why
I
it's
don't
such a
know
bad
why-
word?
Yeah.
It's an awful word. It just sounds bad. That's like nails on a chalkboard, or biting your fork when you eat, or
Scraping your plate.
squeezing the toothpaste bottle from the middle. I mean, that's just a bad thing.
All right, we're kind of back to normal bourbon basement stuff now. Just pretend the history's done. If y'all have any questions about storms or what your I don't know. Evidently, I'm sitting weird. It's
You're not centered.
I'm a big old fat guy. I take up most of the couch. Just
And I don't think anyone's going anywhere this evening for a little bit, so we're just
I'm
gonna
gonna-
pour.
I'm enjoying finally being in the basement.
Look at
I
the
haven't
color
got
on that
to.
bad boy though.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yes. I haven't got to come down here and even admire a bottle on the shelf. Oh wow, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
I think I'm a better free pourer than I
Hey,
am.
Produce ain't even got a hand there.
I think I'm a better free pourer than I am. Maddie, I am gonna have to get up for a second. So there.
Guys, our producer is also the camera keeper, and she's doing such a good job keeping that thing steady. The last time our equipment failed, are we going to have to order new equipment, by the way?
Unfortunately, that one was mine, but yeah, I'll probably have to order a new one.
All right, we'll just order one. You can afford it, right?
I got that storm check coming. We'll be
That's
all right. We'll be alright.
Well, if you have any questions about storms or line work, just holler at us. There's a lineman in the chats and 2 linemen sitting here. We can probably answer any questions you have.
Vappy said I've often passed on Fitz, but every time I've had it, he's always enjoyed it. So,
Well, I know why he passes on it. Probably because they're too daggone expensive, the bottles. So, I think retail on those bottles is around $200 to $250. But you don't find them for, less than
wow, that is sweet.
$4.50. It's very sweet.
That is so sweet. And I love a sweet bourbon, guys. Oh, Lord.
But what are you pulling out of there? Because it was
Cherry.
yes,
Cherry.
definitely cherry right off the bat.
Wow. I think they soaked it in cherries.
I like that, because I'm a cherry drinker. I like
Cherry, vanilla, icing. It's like a cherry turnover almost.
Would you get anything special produced?
Same things. I've done tried a thing, and it's good.
You had one drink and she's really in love with it.
Oh
So-
gosh.
Well, the good news is,
Peter said his buddy at work ended up with 2 feet of water in his basement. He pumped it out, and there was another 2 feet within an hour later.
oh my.
He said, that's why I live on the top of a mountain. Well, you get along really well with the people in West Virginia, because they all live in mountaintops. But I'm sorry to hear that for your buddy. Hopefully you got everything settled out. There's a lot of cherry in this. Have you already taken your first?
I did take a first drink, and just first impressions. We don't ever judge a bourbon on our first impression, right? We get acclimated to it. I've been acclimating with Rebel, and one of the things I don't like to do when I do the show is grab a really good bourbon and drink it before I have another bourbon, because I don't want it to overshadow what I'm getting ready to taste.
Pappy said, yes, people from West Virginia are awesome.
well, wonder why he said that.
Well, they weren't very kind to us, but we got the job done.
I almost had to body slam a little 80-year-old lady.
I don't know if I'd admit that online.
We were going round and round, and she kept telling me her lights were out.
And speaking of cherry, pouring a Calumet 15 now, that's a good bottle.
Oh, nice bottle. I enjoyed
Don't
it.
ignore you. Well, I'm going to ignore that one. I'm not going to repeat that.
So, funny story during the storm. I think it's the only one I have. Usually there's a lot of funny stories. But it was getting to the last days. This was yesterday. And we were getting those onesies and twosies calls. And I got an outage in the town that we serve. So I get there and I see the lights on everywhere. So I go to the address that I'm supposed to go to, and I go to check the meter, and the meter's on and everything. And I was like, meter's on. Okay, this call is back.
null and void.
It's back on, and
It has
it
not been
was
taken
it
off
was
the
an
wall.
old call from Tuesday or whatever. We got a tap line back on, and their lights are on. So anyway, I got in the truck, but I was completing the ticket, and I always like to contact my customer. It did not look like anybody was home in this house. So I called. I got the number and I called her. And me and her discussed it. She said she'd been out since Tuesday. This was Thursday. And I said, no, ma'am. I said, well, you have power. And she goes, oh, what'd you do? And I said, I didn't do anything. I showed up and you have power. And she goes, no, I haven't had power. And I said, yes, ma'am. You've had power. I said,
I can prove it.
yeah. I said, you have power now. And I said, you've had power. I said, we haven't done anything in this area to get you back on. Hey, baby, why don't you sit down? Why don't you sit down?
Oh, good.
And anyway, so I said, you're not home or close, and I can meet you and show you. I said, or you can call me and I'll come back and meet you. And she goes, no, I'm home. And I said, well, great, okay.
That's enough out of you
Somebody
two.
got to go down.
Dylan,
All right.
if you're going to stay, then stay. Don't be chasing nothing.
Anyway, so she's at home. She comes out and meets me, and I start talking to her, and she says, now, I've been out of power since Tuesday,
Are you sure?
since the storm come through. And I said, ma'am, you're on now. And she goes, no, I'm not. And I said, yes, ma'am, you have power right now. And she goes, I do not have power. My generator has been running since Tuesday. And I said, come here for a minute. And we walked around. Now, I done been to the meter, and the meter is on, right? And the generator sits right beside the meter. And I said, come here for a minute. And we walked around the side of the house, and as soon as we walked around the side of the house, she saw the generator wasn't running. And she said, that's the first time it's been off since Tuesday.
Ma'am, it was not running when I showed up.
And I laughed, and I said, ma'am, I said, did your lights like blink during the storm on Tuesday? I said, because if they blinked, if we had a recloser out or something and it blinked your lights, and then you come back on within like 5 seconds, I said, your generator probably kicked on because it saw no power, and then it ran its cycle, and then it shut down, and maybe you just thought it was still running. She goes, no, it's been running since Tuesday. And I said, okay. I said, so she's not taking that she's been on. She thinks she's been on her generator the whole time. And I said, well, I said, do you see that gray thing on the pole right there? She goes, yeah. I said, that's your transformer. I said, you share that with your neighbor. I said, has your neighbor been out since Tuesday? Because he's on right now too. And she goes, no, he never lost power. And I said, then you never lost power. She goes, I've been on my generator. And I said, ma'am, I don't know how to make you understand that you are on the same transformer. If his lights blinked and came back on, I said, your lights blinked and came back on. I said, she goes, I feed from over there. And I said, well, the tap line. So there is an overhead line that feeds your transformer, that feeds your secondary line, that feeds your house. So she was out before.
And she
the
said,
tap line fuse was out. Somebody fused her tap line.
Slam. Yeah. Well,
Somebody fused the tap line before, so she thought she fed from 300 feet away instead of this transformer that's right here,
next to her house.
right next to her driveway.
And do you see your meter? Go up, look
well,
at the service line and follow it.
I never did make her understand, but I tried to at the end. I said, I'm going to check voltage. I said, because you've got an underground service, maybe bad voltage. So let me check voltage.
Can't fix stupid? Now, Peter. That may be an offensive word to people like this. That may be an offensive word to people like this, because apparently they have no common sense.
I don't usually meet older women like that. Usually they are very nice. And I can tell you that...
I can tell you one.
Don't. I don't know who you're talking about. Don't. But
Well, you met her.
But there's another lady during the storm, and we had a tree come down, tore her line down, and she come out, and I could tell she wanted to rake me over the coals. And I met her, and she come out, and she pointed her finger at me like this, and she was probably in her 80s.
Young man, you get my power on now.
She pointed her finger at me like this, and she goes, I've been out for 2 days. And I said, ma'am, I'm so sorry. And she goes, what does that mean about my refrigerator? And I said, well, when did you go out?
Your freezer, everything in your freezer's cooked.
She said she went out. She had been out literally about 20 hours. And I said, well, have you opened your refrigerator or freezer? She goes, no. I said, if you don't open it, that freezer will probably last 2 or 3 days without
being open.
I said, the refrigerator should last about 24 hours. I said, everything should be good unless you've opened it a lot. And she goes, no. And I said, I think you're going to be fine. I said, maybe throw out your milk. I said, I don't know. But I think everything else is going to be fine.
Warm milk's the best.
But she come out there, and I knew she wanted to rake me over the coals, but she couldn't. She was just so nice and sweet. And we had backed the truck up in her yard and everything, and after she pointed that finger to me and stuff, she goes, well, okay, you all be safe out here.
Why is it always the guy who comes to fix it's fault?
I know. It does get that way a lot.
Sometimes you're just the one, it's not necessarily your fault, you're just the one that shows up and actually has to take the brunt because they can't speak to anyone else.
How many of you had? How many drinks?
I was on my third.
You want to talk about it?
The cherry sticks with it. Very heavy.
Yes.
And I'm not complaining with it.
Very good.
It's very cherry turnover-esque. Almost
You got the bread taste.
It's almost like a grenadine.
It's
It's like you took grenadine cherry syrup, like you're mixing with a Coke to make cherry Coke, and poured into this glass of bourbon.
It almost tastes flavored, doesn't it?
Yes.
It almost tastes like a flavored drink because it is that good.
And I'm not getting any savory from this whatsoever.
It's all sweet.
There is I'm not kidding you, a very slight bit of oak, and normally I would complain about that. But with the flavors that I'm getting as the sweet aspect of it, there's not a complaint in my mind.
What is the proof on it again?
100.
It's just 100 proof. I think it drinks hotter than 100 proof. I think there's a little bit of peppery cinnamon hot, like a cinnamon hot candy there at the end, but it's 11 years old. It doesn't taste
a little bit of butterscotch out of it.
It doesn't taste like an old bourbon though. It doesn't taste like an 11-year-old bourbon.
I disagree. To
You
have
think?
to have this many layers and that much sweetness
Well,
and
that's
flavor.
what I was going. It's very complicated, but with the 11-year-old bourbon, you're looking a little bit more for that oaky taste, that the smokiness, a charredness, or something like that. You don't get a lot of wood at all.
A little bit.
Very.
I was on the tools for 20 years. Luckily, customers were commercial industry, so they were always glad to see me. Well, I will say the majority of people
Who
are
was
glad
that?
to see it. That was Peter.
Yeah.
The
Peter,
majority of people in this line of work are glad to see it, but then you get those ones that are just mad at the world.
well, then you got the ones at social media like, I can't believe my lights have been out for 3 days, and
And
but
then I've even seen
they
posts
don't
like,
look at the devastation that come around.
I've even seen posts of people posting like power companies sitting in a parking lot. Well, if
They-
you're like us,
They don't get a break, right?
if you're like us and you're a contractor, you can't just go work on whatever you see because we're not part of that power company. We have to get sent a specific ticket and permission to go work on said job before we can go. So sometimes all we can do is wait a little bit.
And that is not for that is for safety reasons.
Yeah,
If you just went out there and did what you wanted to do, somebody else could be working on that line.
that same line.
Heat
and
the
then
line
get
up
killed.
on you and somebody gets killed. So you see some people sitting over there, you think they're not doing anything, but there's already a plan in motion for them. It just takes some time, especially when you have a company like ours and say there's 30 people that's trying to organize this storm. Well, you've got 300 contractors come in, 300 different crews that you're not used
Maybe
to.
more.
That's a big task for them to find work for everybody. And then the other thing is you don't have a whole lot of people you're running everybody out to look at these calls, but until you've looked at a bunch of calls, there may not be a work for that big crew.
It all just depends on the area that you're in, the work that they need done, and then. But it does look bad if you're just sitting around. People still have power out.
It does,
and-
but this is what I hate. So we
but
go
you
in,
don't know the big picture of it.
exactly,
as an
and
outsider.
we go in the morning, just say 6 o'clock in the morning and get off at midnight. We work 18-hour day, all right? So you go in the morning and you get in your truck, you've got a bunch of calls on your computer that
You
they've
just
already
start
sent you,
working through
and you start running through these calls, right? Well, you look up and it's 2:30 and you haven't taken a single break, you haven't eaten anything, you haven't done nothing. And then at 2:30 you say, dude, meet me at McDonald's and let's get something to eat, or meet me at wherever and let's get something to eat. And then you go in there and you sit down, and then you got somebody taking a picture of you because you're actually eating lunch. And my lights are out, and this guy's in McDonald's for 22 minutes trying to
See,
eat something.
That's who we call the Karens. Those are the
But
Karens. 'Cause
the world is taken over by Karens right now.
Well,
It is,
I
and-
will say the majority of people out there are very respectful to us. They're thankful for what we're
Most
doing.
are, yes.
But
Well-
you do get those few and far in between that they're just mad at the world. They're mad at everyone. And
Not-
they're really
not
mad
only
that they've
do-
been out of power.
Not only do they not take in consideration that y'all don't get much sleep, you don't have time for yourselves, but you are away from your families.
Yes, you are.
And,
And
we
you're-
tried to explain that to them, but
Yeah.
they're just like, that doesn't save my beef.
True.
Well,
It
it's
doesn't,
funny
but-
too that everybody has just filled their freezer with meat right before the storm.
Right before the
comes.
storm. It never fails.
Everybody. So
Alright,
that
well, let me catch up here. So thank you for all your hard work despite the crazy people who at least give you good stories to tell. Plenty of good stories. Thank you, Karens out there that just are mad at the world.
You
that
could
we
write a
can
book.
tell these things to. And then we got learned so much about the electric utility industry from this episode. Glad I tuned in.
who was that?
Who do you think?
That wasn't Gene. Was
Yes.
It was.
It?
I'm glad that we could teach you a thing or two.
That wasn't
after your-
Gene, boy.
I'm
You're
glad
so
we could.
funny.
Yeah, I don't deal with service anymore. Estimating and project management is different. Contractors only screaming for manpower now. Yeah, no doubt.
Let's
If we
get
could have a
to,
little more manpower, I'd take it.
All right, so go ahead and give your view on this. How long is this episode?
It, 50
It's
minutes.
gonna-
All right, we're
I'm
about
gonna
ready to
longer
wrap
one.
it up, guys. Thank you all for tuning in and listening.
Thank you
Uh,
all for
Thank you for being my drinking buddy.
tolerating our
I
technical
needed this
difficulties.
tonight. I needed a drink. I needed to sit on the couch. I didn't want to stand behind the bar. Ryan got all this set up, so thank you, Ryan. Thank the
With a
guys
little
that I
help.
work with. It's Thanks, Produce, for holding the phone.
We got to work on your steady hand, but it's been all right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So my take on this, Ryan, it's unusual that we usually get this. We usually don't get the same things.
But I got cherry off the bat on the
Yes,
palate and the
I do
This
too.
is cherry forward,
and I love
cherry middle, and cherry end.
it. It's good.
I love it.
The last sip that I took, I got a lot of caramel ask out of it.
Okay.
So cherry, caramel. I've never had a caramel covered cherry, but I'm interested to try it now.
You're gonna try it.
I might try it now. It was really good. You get a little bit, I mean, very slight bit of oakiness in this one, guys. It's not very forward, but it is there. You have to kind of hunt for it.
You got to look for it.
You got to hunt for it a little bit, but it is there.
I can find it now, and it comes with the little bit of dryness that's at the. This is not a dry bourbon, but there's a little bit of dryness in there, and that's where you taste that oaky wood.
And normally I would complain about not having a lot of oakiness because it's usually there in every bourbon I drink.
Especially for an 11-year-old.
But I don't think I have any complaints about this one not
This is
being
very
forward. It's an extremely good bourbon, guys. You get a lot of sweet notes. If you love a sweet bourbon like I do, this is right up your alley.
Yes.
I mean, to a T. Great show. Glad you boys are home safe. Love y'all. Love you too. Gene Boy, appreciate you tuning in. Steve, have a good night to you as well, and stay safe to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a little bit of time out of your Friday evening. And then Peter said, Weeders will do that. That sweet,
Yep.
Weeders, yeah. Look, real sweet, but very enjoyable bourbon overall. Extremely good. I think the 100 proof was about spot on because you said it even drank hotter than 100. I think if it was any more than that, it might have been too much.
I think so. I think the 100 proof put it right there at that good taste point. It lets you get, and I'm sitting here, and when I talk and get long-winded, and then I take another drink, I taste more different stuff.
Yeah, it comes in layers.
And it's very unique. That cherry is kind of overwhelming with it. So if you don't like cherry, you probably
Might not
won't like
like
this. Or you may not taste it because every palate's different.
I don't
But,
like cherries, but I liked it.
You don't like cherries and you liked it, but did you taste cherry?
That's coming from Produce.
I did.
You did taste cherry.
So
So,
Produce tasted cherries, doesn't like cherries, but still like the bourbon.
yes. And I think it's fantastic.
It's delicious.
I am pleasantly surprised. A lot of times when I build up a bottle and I'm looking forward to it, it doesn't meet my expectations.
See, but I think you set your standards so high.
But this one met
So high.
This one met my standards. This bottle met my standards.
It's a great bottle.
I think for me, it was a very good find.
Do they make older ones than this?
Yes, some of them are older, some of them are younger. There's some, I think there's some 8 and 9 years. There's some 12 and 13 years.
At 13 years would be
so
something special.
Every batch is maybe a different year or the same year, but usually it's a little different. So it ain't like last year's batch or something.
I mean, and then
like that.
just get a load of this bottle, guys.
The bottles are beautiful. I think
The bottles
everybody.
are gorgeous.
I think everybody can agree that their decanter bottle is probably one of the most iconic bottles that you would see. I think that you would see it and recognize it immediately.
without
and-
the label on
Yeah,
it.
and when we just did the corks, we figured everybody would know that one.
That
right.
cork was hard to get back in.
It's a tight,
That's a fat cork.
you know.
Don't say it.
All right, guys. Give it a rating. Give it a rating.
Oh gosh, guys. Beginner friendly? No, because this is not in the price range of beginner friendly kind of bourbons.
What if you're a beginner but you're rich?
Then go for it.
All
I
right.
think you're gonna love it. If you got a lot of money just to blow, please blow it on this because it's a good one.
If you can find it, even.
Yeah, it's hard to find too. Special releases kind of stuff. Did you find this on an auction
No, this was in a store.
in a store? So
Yeah.
just lucky.
I went to a store. We got to wrap it up. I went to a store. I was looking for it. She said, "Oh, we just sold our last old Fitzgerald." I wasn't looking for that. I was looking at bourbons, and I got to talking to the lady behind the counter. She said, "We just sold our last old Fitz." She said, "But the boss has another store, and he has 2 bottles up there." And I said, "Well, how
he
much?"
made the trip.
I said, "How much are they?" And she told me, and I was like, "It's a little bit more than I want to pay." And she goes, "Well, just make him an offer. Sometimes he does good stuff." So I went there. I bought several bottles, and he gave me a big discount on that bottle. So I didn't get it for MSRP even at that. I still probably paid $100 over MSRP.
But you can't find them for MSRP.
No.
You're probably never going to.
All right, so
So,
did you give it a rating?
not yet. Overall, I don't think it's beginner friendly. Love the color of it. Absolutely love the bottle. Everything about it. The label's simple, but the bottle is elegant. The topper looks awesome. The taste of it is sweet, which I love. It's got that just very tiny bit of oakiness, so I can't still say it has oakiness on the back end of it. It's very desserty, so drink it as a dessert. Drink it with. I think this would go well with anything, guys. It's a very good bourbon. Even someone in our cast here doesn't like cherries, and it's very cherry forward. And she even said that she still liked it. I'm gonna give it like a 9.5.
Dang! And it deserves it.
It's a good one.
To me, guys, very, like I said, cherry throughout the whole thing. On that finish, you get that dry oak spice.
See, I didn't get any dryness at all.
That's why I think it drinks a little bit over 100 proof, is because it's got that dry oaky spiciness at the end. But as far as the thing, it's cherry, 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 cherry. Now, every time I drink it, it's a little bit different. Can't put my finger on those flavors, which makes it intriguing. It makes me want to drink more,
But
which is what I
The
like
fact
in a
that
bourbon.
you can still taste something different, even not being able to name what it is, every time you take a sip,
Yes.
that's an
And
in-depth
it
bourbon.
makes you think about what you're
That's
drinking.
an in-depth
Anyway,
bourbon.
I love it. I love the bottle. I love it. I'm not going to give it a 9.5. I am going to give it a 9.2, and I am going to put it on that top shelf.
That's going to be a top shelfer, boys.
But it is one that I will drink in a blind against some other 9s that we have up there, just to make sure it
And
belongs
that's
there.
Well, you can't even do it. You're never going to get one of those other 9s again.
Well, but I got a lot of 9s up there to compare it to.
There are a lot of 9s up there. Not as many as the other shelves, but the top shelf guys that we got over there on the rankings.
I've got 8 9s
stacked.
and above, and the rest are all 8s. But there is 8 9s and above. Out of all the shows we've done, there's 8s, 9s and above. Our producer's arms are getting tired. Let's wrap this up.
She's
Thank
been
you
sitting
guys.
back there going like,
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for being my drinking buddy. I
let me
do
catch
appreciate
up on,
it.
comments real quick. Peter said there's no throwing out that bottle. No,
No.
that bottle will be kept on the
It'll
shelf
stay.
forever. Love the set, Gene Boy. Yes, we definitely love the set and top shelf. Wow, yeah, it's a great bottle.
It
If you have
is.
the chance to get it, guys, if you happen to find it, please do yourself a favor. and
Or
buy
if you see it in the bar, then they're offering a shot of it.
Please try
I
it.
would drink it. I would
Please
take
try
that
it.
shot.
That's a delicious bottle of bourbon. Great looking bottle, great looking color. Everything about it is just beautimous. A beautimous. Is that all you got for him?
Yes, sir. Wrap it up.
Thank you all so much for voting. Sorry I couldn't get the poll set up, but we will try that again in the future, and hopefully you all will be able to vote on that. But thank you all for helping us in the mini game and picking out what bourbon we were actually going to do the review on this evening. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a little bit of Friday evening time out of your lives. Glad to be back in Kentucky. Glad that Dad's done with his little fiasco he's been
I
dealing
am
with.
too.
here in
I'm glad
Kentucky.
I'm at the age where I don't want all that overtime.
Not gonna lie, hopefully in the next couple of days we'll be called back out to Indiana, because I know that they still got about 200,000 people out, so hopefully we'll be able to help y'all out as well. Maybe, I don't know. But thank y'all so much for everything that y'all do for us. If you like the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, and spread the Bourbon Basement name around to all your friends. And all that being said, guys, why drink alone?
When you can drink with us.
We'll see y'all next Friday.
How about a hug? I ain't seen y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.